You are what I'm looking for. I know what I'm looking for.
In today's video, I'm going to be sharing an extra special project and something really special at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to be working today with my 12 Days of Christmas template book, and in this book we have 12 different gift boxes or bags or packaging for gifts for the Christmas season. So I'm going to do a quick flip through of this book and show you the projects that are inside of it, and then we're going to make one of them. Day 1, we have a nail polished gift box. Day 2, we have a tea light gift box. Day 3, we have a pillow treat box. Day 4, we have a mitten gift box. Day 5, we have a bath salts bag. Day 6, we have a lottery pocket. Day 7, we have a hand lotion box. Day 8, we have a makeup box. Day 9, we have a chocolate box. Day 10, we have a sock box. And there are 2 pages for the sock box template. Day 11, we have an essentials gift box. And day 12, we have a trifold pocket folio. And that's the project that we're going to make today. We're going to make this trifold pocket folio. So this is just a fun bunch of little projects that you can make for the 12 days of Christmas. And I have tutorials up on my channel for all of these projects in case you're interested in checking out the book and making all of these projects. So let's get started. To get started, we'll take a look at the list of supplies needed, and we're going to need a piece of pattern paper that's 12 by 12, a piece of pattern paper that's 5 1/4 by 12, a scoreboard, a scoring tool, scissors, adhesive, and a large circle punch. So first up, I'm going to take one piece of pattern paper and I'm going to cut this down to make sure that it's 12 by 12 inches. This paper comes from an older collection I had in my stash from Authentique. It's a vintage style Christmas, and I'm just going to cut off the branding strip here and it'll be 12 by 12 inches. And then I'll take the second piece of pattern paper and cut that down to 5 1/4 by 12 inches. And then I'm going to take a look at the template and follow along the steps to score. So step number 1, I need to score the 12 by 12 inch paper. So I'll grab my scoreboard, and with my pattern paper in the upright orientation, I'm going to score at 5 1/2 inches, 11 inches, and then 11 1/4 inches. And I don't want to score too deep because I don't want to create any cracking or tearing in the paper. So I'll get those scored, and then I'm going to turn my pattern paper 1 turn to the left, and then I'm going to score at 5 1/2 inches. And then that's going to be it for scoring for the first piece. And then I'm going to take the second piece that I have that's 5 1/4 by 12, and I'm going to put this in my scoreboard across the 12-inch side. I'm going to score here at 8 1/2 inches. And then that's going to be it for the scoring for this project. I'll take my scoreboard out of the way here, and now we're going to start making some cuts into the paper. In my template book, there are areas in the image that are marked in red, and that's where we're going to cut away. There are no drawn lines or identification marks. We're just going to use the score marks as a guide, and I'm going to trim away a little bit of excess, just making a slight angle cut on the bottom of these pieces. I'll just crease the cardstock a little bit so I can see how far I need to cut, and this is going to be a little pocket that folds up into our little folio. So I need to do that to all of the pieces. So I start with the smaller piece first, and then the larger piece I'm going to start by creasing the folds to identify sort of the lines that I need to cut away and to make it simpler so I can see better. So I'll get those creased, and then I'm going to start in the left corner there, and there's a whole piece that needs to be completely cut away. So I'm just following the score marks here There are 2 score lines on this piece because we're going to be creating a little gusset in this section. So for the bottom piece, we're going to cut that entire piece away. I'll just follow along the score mark, cut up until I reach the score line from the bottom, and then cut that piece away. And then I can come back and angle cut that little piece. Okay, and then in the middle here, I'm going to cut directly up the center of the score line until I meet that cross section. And then I'm going to come in and angle cut a little bit. Now, I found it easier, once the pattern paper was cut down that score line, I found it easier to fold the 2 pieces together and angle cut. This way my angles kind of match and they're the same and they're symmetrical. So I'll just fold those 2 pieces together, and then I'll double check the little angle cuts and make sure that they match. So if I need to come back and trim away any excess, I can do that. And then this way, all of the angles are even and everything is identical and it looks good. So I'll do that to both sides here. I'll just trim away a little bit. The angle cutting is not 100% necessary, but I find that it's easier to fold the pockets and close the folio with that little bit of excess taken away. Then nothing interferes with the opening and closing. Okay, so far this is what we've got. We've got these 2 pockets are now released, and these are going to fold up and get glued down. All right, and then we have our second piece with a pocket, and I'm going to line them all up together so that they're all nice and straight and even, and I'm going to take a circle punch and punch out a little tab. Now it's a little bit hard to punch all 3 of these pieces together, so I had to force it a little bit, but I made it through. You can punch them individually, but I just like the fact that the little thumb notches are in the same spot on all 3 pieces. Now, according to the template, it's time to crease all of the score marks and apply adhesive. Now, while we were cutting away, we kind of creased the score marks a little bit, but I'll come back and do it anyways. I'll grab my Teflon bone folder and crease all of the pockets and make sure everything is going to fold together nicely. And then I'm going to crease that little gusset on the side. And this little flap, once we have the gusset sort of created, this flap is where we're going to adhere our smaller piece to create a 3rd panel in our folio. So I'm just making sure that I'm following on the template the areas where I'm supposed to glue, and I'm using some Gina K Connect glue for this. This is a good place where you can use double-sided tape as well, but I find that liquid glue gives me a little bit of wiggle room. So once I've got the glue on there, I'm going to line up this panel, make sure it's nice and straight and lines right up to that little score mark, leaving our little 1/4 inch gusset there. All right, and then I'm going to add adhesive to one side of each of these pockets. It doesn't matter which side, but I find that applying a little bit of adhesive just to hold that pocket up in place and then leaving one side open allows for a little bit of, give and take and wiggle room. So I'll do that to all 3 flaps, apply a tiny bead of adhesive on one side of each of these little pockets, and then fold them up and adhere them down. Now, my little seams are sort of upside down here. If that bothers you, try to use a pattern paper that doesn't have an orientation, but for me, it doesn't really matter. I like the way this looks. So I've got all of my adhesive down, I'll fold up my pockets, and then we're done. This folio is complete. So you can add in here lottery tickets or little gift tags or chocolate bars even. With that little gusset, it gives you a little bit more room to add things into. All right, so I'm just creasing the gusset here. Now, this panel is just a little bit shorter than the other ones. So the idea here is that if you need the little gusset, then you can fold the gusset over top of the folio. If you don't need the gusset, then you can just fold this in and then fold the other piece over top to close. And that's it, our folio is complete. I hope that you enjoyed this quick and simple little project for the 12 days of Christmas. I'll be sure to leave a link in the description box for all of the other videos that coordinate with this template book. And a special announcement for today, I'm going to have a massive clearance sale on my website for all of my template books. If you've never seen my template books before, I'll leave a link to a more of a descriptive video about these books, and I have all different kinds of templates that I've turned into these beautiful books, and they're going to be on sale. So what you'll get is a complete bundle of the Genvelope template reference book. You'll also get the Chop It Up book, a book about boxes and bags, 3D projects, enhanced envelopes and pocket cards, a free mini template book, and I'm also including the 12 Days of Christmas template book for free. So you'll get all of my Genvelope template books for one low price, plus the 2 template mini books for free. So check out the link in the description box down below. You don't want to miss this sale. This is a hugely discounted sale with more than 50% off of all of my books, plus ones for free. So thanks again for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Coming up on screen are a couple of videos I think you may enjoy. Have yourself a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!